Hey there, Financial Future fam. I've got some fantastic news to share with you today that's bound to make a big difference for a whole bunch of folks out there. So, grab a seat and let's dive into it. Guess what? The government has decided to send out not just one, but two payments, and they're coming your way on April 19. Who's eligible for these payments, you ask? Well, if you're receiving benefits from Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or if you're a veteran getting benefits from the Department of VA, then this is for you. In this video, we're going to break it all down for you. We'll explain exactly what this means for you and your wallet, who qualifies, how much you can expect to receive, and most importantly, what steps you need to take to ensure you get your money on time. We've got you covered with all the details. But it's not just about the money. We're also going to talk about why this is such a big deal for so many families out there. These payments are like a lifeline for many, helping them cover essential expenses and make ends meet during tough times. If you're on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits, you've probably been hoping for some financial relief amidst the high costs of inflation. Well, it looks like help is on the way as the government has just signed off on two new direct payment waves separate from the annual cost of living adjustments. So, it's a nice extra boost. Let's start by breaking down the first of these two newly approved direct payments. This one is specifically for Social Security recipients, including those on regular retirement benefits as well as disability benefits through SSDI. According to the latest reports, this first payment will provide $200 to every eligible Social Security recipient. That's $200 per person, not per household. So, for married couples receiving benefits, that's $400 total they can expect. As far as eligibility goes, there are no complicated income thresholds or criteria. If you are currently receiving Social Security retirement or SSDI payments, you will automatically qualify for this $200 direct payment. One important note, though, this payment is only for those receiving Social Security benefits. Recipients of SSI or supplemental security income are not included in this first wave of payments. So, when can Social Security beneficiaries expect to receive this $200 payment? According to the legislation that was just passed, the target delivery date is July 2024. There are always possible delays, of course, but the goal is to get this money out by next summer. And one last key point on this payment: it is being categorized as a rebate, officially. That means it will not be considered as taxable income for 2024, so you get to pocket the full $200 payment amount. Alright, let's move on to that second direct payment that was just approved. This one is aimed at those receiving SSI or supplemental security income. The details are still being finalized, but here's what we know so far. The payment amount for SSI recipients will be $125 per person, similar to the Social Security payment. It will be $125 for each individual SSI beneficiary, not per household. Now, it's worth noting that the eligibility rules for this SSI payment are a bit different compared to the Social Security one we just covered. With this SSI payment, there will be income phase-out limits. From the early reports, it appears the $125 payment will be reduced for SSI recipients with other sources of income over a certain threshold. That threshold is $115,000 for an individual or $25,000 for couples. So, in practical terms, some very low-income SSI recipients will get the full $125, while those with higher incomes may see a reduced payment amount or potentially no payment at all, depending on their total income level. The income phase-out ranges are still being finalized, but just be aware there will be some form of income testing involved for this particular payment. As for timing, the goal is to deliver this SSI payment in two installments: half the payment amount in September 2024 and the other half in December 2024. Those dates could shift slightly, but you're looking at the fall and winter timeframe for this one. And just like the Social Security payment, this SSI payment is considered a rebate, and will not be taxed as income for 2024. One more key group is included in the second payment wave: recipients of VA or Veterans Disability Benefits. If you're receiving VA disability compensation or VA pension payments, you would qualify for the same $125 direct payment. The income phase-out limits mentioned for SSI recipients would also apply to VA disability benefit recipients. But for lower-income vets, you're looking at that full $125 payment arriving in 2 installments next fall and winter. Okay, that covers the key details on these 2 brand new direct payment rounds that were just approved by the government. To recap, $200 per person for Social Security retirement and disability recipients, arriving around July 2024, no income limits. $125 per person for SSI, VA disability compensation, and VA pension recipients, 2 installments in fall and winter 2024, income phase-outs will apply. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture impact these payments could have. According to the latest data from the Social Security Administration, around 65 million Americans receive some form of Social Security benefits each month. That includes over 46 million retired workers and another 9 million disability beneficiaries through SSDI. Meanwhile, census data shows over 7 million people are enrolled in the SSI program, with millions more vets receiving VA disability or pension payments. When you add it all up, we're easily talking about over 70 million American individuals and households who could see direct payments arrive from at least one of these 2 new approved payment waves. From a total dollar perspective, we're looking at well over $15 billion being distributed through these payments based on the latest enrollment figures. $200 per Social Security beneficiary equates to around $10 billion alone. So, the economic impact could be quite significant, especially for those living on relatively fixed incomes from these federal benefits. An extra $200 or $125 can make a major difference in affording necessities like groceries, medications, rent, or mortgage payments. While the payment amounts themselves aren't enormous, every bit of financial relief can help in this high inflation environment we're stuck in. For millions of Americans struggling to make ends meet, these newly approved federal direct payments could provide some much-needed breathing room. Now, of course, not everyone is on board with the idea of these new direct payments. Critics have been quick to point out the substantial overall price tag involved, with estimates ranging from $15 billion all the way up to $25 billion depending on eligibility factors. There are concerns that injecting billions more into direct payments could end up further fueling inflation, even if only modestly. Some experts argue that extra cash in people's pockets will translate to more consumer spending and demand, potentially offsetting some of the intended financial relief. There's also the fairness argument that those living on fixed Social Security and disability incomes deserve temporary relief, just as federal government employees received large pay raises and cost of living adjustments over the past couple of years. So, you can expect the political battle lines to remain drawn over the merits and necessity of these newly greenlit payments. Where you stand likely depends on your personal financial situation and ideological leanings. First, make sure you're signed up for electronic payments and have updated your banking info with whichever federal agency administers your benefits. Getting that direct deposit set up will ensure you receive the funds as fast as possible once distribution begins. Second, start mentally earmarking this money now and plan ahead for any essentials you'll want to cover or debts you can pay down. Having a plan in place will help maximize the impact. And finally, be on the lookout for any additional updates or modifications to these payment programs. The full eligibility details are still being finalized, so some tweaks could happen between now and when payments start arriving next year. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more upcoming videos. That's a wrap for today, but I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe, stay informed, and keep fighting for what you deserve. See you soon.